everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the masterclass on Vellum, which is what you've asked for, which is what, we decided, well, that's what you asked for, that's what we're going to give you. So we're going to be giving you lots of tips and hints, ideas for the things that you could do with your vellum, because if you're a little bit like me, the vellum that's in my sort of stash is just something I look at and I think, yeah, that's really pretty. I don't know what to do with it. I've got no idea. But in the earlier show, Debbie showed us so many different ways of being able to use the vellum, and we're going to continue with that throughout the show. So I've got Debbie and I are together for the next 2 days. It's very exciting, isn't it? Looking forward to working with you for Softer Side tomorrow.
You know what? I genuinely cannot wait for tomorrow. I think it's going to be really exciting for me as a normal, regular paper crafter to see your craft and see it all the way through and in that show. I'm really excited about that. So it's going to be absolutely fun. And you've got something brand new tomorrow, haven't you?
I have.
Excited.
You're bigging me up, and I'm really hoping I can deliver. It's going to be so good. I think, ooh, okay.
Becky, you always deliver, as Ben just said, and it's so true.
Yeah, he's just after a cake this afternoon, isn't he? What happened to the cakes? We talked about cakes. Cakes didn't arrive.
They didn't.
We did have a lovely lunch, and I hope you've settled down. You've had a nice little break, and you're getting ready to send in your questions, send in your ideas. Perhaps you are a vellum expert, and you know everything there is to know about vellum, and you can give us some sort of handy tips, different ideas of things to do, or message in with ideas or questions that you've got, because this is the opportunity that you're going to have a look at that. So we've got this fantastic deal for you with these amazing vellums that we've got on the show. The deal is you buy 4, you get the other 2 for free. So you can get all 6 of these for just £51.96 or $63.80. But if you're in the club, it's £41.57 and $51.04. So really, really good deal. And you've got in there, you've got the Sunflower Collection, you've got the Hummingbird, you've got Dancing Dragonfly, you've got Country Lane, and then you're going to be getting the Vintage Butterflies and the Knitwit Kindly Thoughts. So a really, really good deal. And I think actually, the earlier show has definitely whetted my appetite for using vellum. I'm sure this one will do so as well, and really sort of inspire you for the type of things we've got. We've also got these amazing stamps, and Debbie's going to be using these. She used them earlier on, but she's also going to be using them in the next demo. We are going to show you these here. So the first one we've got here, these are the outline floral stamps. This is your Proud Poppies. So you've got sentiments in there as well as the actual flowers. So beautiful for you to colour in with your Spectrum Noir pens. Then you've also got your Delicate Blossom, really beautiful one here, fantastic for making cherry blossoms, great for the springtime. Then the next one we've got Divine Rose, very pretty, be able to use this in lots and lots of different ways. And then the final one is a Radiant Ranunculus, which I think is really lovely. This is a really pretty one, and we saw earlier today on one of the samples using this in vellum, which works really well. I'm going to show you a couple of samples here that we've got using these. Now some of these are using vellum as well. Look at how pretty that is. Looks really effective using those stamps. And of course, as we showed on the earlier show, if you managed to catch it, brilliant. If you didn't, you can always watch again. But Debbie was showing you how you can stamp onto the vellum and then emboss it. So you'll be able to use these stamps for that. This is the ranunculus one, which I think looks really stunning. And these kind of sort of swirly flowers are very, very pretty. We've got a poppy one here. Going to be great for Remembrance Sunday. Oh, look at this one. Oh my goodness, this one. How cool is that? That is really, really effective. Then we've got the rose one down here, looking very pretty again with that kind of a sort of watercolour background, and then this final one here. As well. So great deal. That's £11.98 or $16.68. And so Debbie, you're going to be using these for your very first demo, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone knows that I am totally a flower girl. So I love flower stamps. I love flower dies. I think if I could literally sit and make flowers all day long, I would absolutely do that. We're going to be making flowers in the next demo out of dies and creating vellum flowers. Another one of my favourite things to do. So first of all, I thought we'd start basic, but also sort of do something a little bit different that we haven't done today. So I mean today as in showing anything in Wake Up Call. I've got myself just a piece of vellum. So what I love is one of the packs that we've got in that collection. Let me just see which one it is. I think it's the dragonflies. Yes, it is. It's the dancing dragonflies. I'll show you the pack of it. What I love about this, and it's the first time we've done this, is we've got the pattern ones and we've got the plain ones as well. So it's super popular to be able to do that contrasting of having both. And you've seen that earlier show that we created, and I'll just bring that in, of using your lighter colour vellum over the top of your pattern vellum. A really nice way to do that, and heat emboss. And we're going to do some heat embossing now, but we're going to sort of bring a different medium into that as well.
Great.
So the first pack we're using is our delicate blossoms. I love this one. It's got a really nice outline and a nice space to colour in. So we're going to be using I'm just going to bring in my little hamster pillow, as our Ben calls it. So we're just going to rub that over.
So where do you get those from?
So you can get them online. Just type in anti-static bags. That's what they are. They're normally a bit bigger than this. I'm trying to think, Ben, can you remember what we bought this out with? I'm trying to think. That's it, yes, and we brought out those paper packs as well. I was trying to think what come with them. So they come with the resist stamps, and we're going to be using actually one of the resist stamps in the demo. They're not on the show, but you'll probably find it on the website. But it's all you need. If you haven't got it, I know Leanne, she's made her homemade ones before with cornflour and her tights.
Okay.
What, you can buy these on the web? Oh, there you go, you can buy them. So we have got them. So they're brilliant.
So your hamsters may sleep soundly. Well,
yes.
with a little hamster pillow.
Don't search hamster pillow. What you will find is you won't have to do the made ones like our Leanne done and cut up your stockings. So Leanne said she used to make anti-static bags, and she'd cut her stockings up and put cornflour in them.
And that works.
She said it
I
works.
mean, I know people sometimes use like a dryer sheet for getting rid of the static on, you know, if you've got like a skirt and your tight is sticking to your tights, you can use that. But, I didn't realise cornflour did that.
I mean, you have to have quite a thick denier, because obviously so it doesn't come through the holes.
You don't want to be using your fishnets.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, no, not your fishnets. You don't want to be using your fishnets, that's for sure. And they're going, like, what? Denier? What's that? Denier is the number that they give to have the thickness of tights. Oh, you did know that, yeah. Did you?
Of course Ben knew that.
I bet you've played Robin Hood at some point, haven't you, Ben, and had your green tights on? Oh, okay. Yes, yeah. There you go. So you do know your tights and your stockings.
I was on a train at the weekend, and I went to Brighton Pride, and there were lots of drag queens on the train, and they wear like 6 or 7 pairs of tights over, to keep everything, tidy. But also, they often, and I noticed this with the Spice Girls. I'm not saying the Spice Girls are like drag queens, they weren't on the train, but the Spice Girls, when they're performing, they tend to wear sort of like neutral coloured or tan coloured fishnets, because it makes your legs look better, fishnet tights, apparently.
Oh, okay. I never knew that.
Who knew? Learn something new every day, not just about vellum, sometimes it's about tights.
I love that. You have all these unbelievably knowledgeable, not unbelievable because that makes me sound like I don't believe you, but these amazing stories to tell, which I absolutely love. Yeah, always educational.
I'm full of random stories, Well,
I'm still waiting to hear the story on your little present that Joe gave you.
Shall I show you my little present? So I haven't seen Joe for a while, but Joe sent me this little present, and he left this for me, if you can see this. So you may have watched a previous show, I think I did it with Becky, and it was about the kind of things you'd want on toast. And I said, I like I like anchovies on toast, and everyone was like, ugh, it's disgusting. But this is an actual pot of what's called gentleman's relish, which is a toast topping, and it's effectively, it's like a fish paste but made with anchovies, and it's like a traditional, and it's delicious. Although apparently this one's been in the car and it got quite hot, so I'm possibly not going to eat it. But it was a nice idea anyway.
Well, it's not a good present if you can't eat it, Becky.
No.
What was Joe playing at?
Do you know, in the break, I'll open it up and everyone can try a little bit. Yeah, no one's going to be interested in that.
No,
I'll have all the cake to myself afterwards. But
so anchovies, aren't they very salty?
Yes, but it's delicious.
Yeah, see, I don't like salty things. I don't put salt on anything.
Do you not?
No,
not
on anything.
Anchovies on toast, I don't put extra salt on them, but anchovies on toast, delicious. So gentleman's relish, but thank you very much, Joe, if you're watching. I am very pleased with my present. I did open up my drawer and I found some, I can't say the words, can I? I found some foam on a roll.
Foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll. Hey!
12 minutes. 12 minutes. Getting better, it'll be even quicker at the next show. I did find that in my drawer, and I thought initially that was the present from Joe, and I was like, not entirely
Yeah, we
sure.
all had a foam on a roll. Oh no! Foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll. Hey! Sorry. We all had one in our drawers. So I don't know, someone must have gone round and thought that we all needed one and had them in our drawers.
Oh, that's nice.
That's very nice,
Yeah.
yes.
I prefer
Right, just
chocolate
while
for
we're
next time.
talking about anchovies and everything else, I just let you all know what I've done. I've used my Midas, because I didn't bring my gold embossing powder, so I used that. But I am going to use my gold embossing pigment ink pad, and I'm just going to use it with a clear embossing powder.
Right.
So it's another way if you haven't got gold. So we're going to stamp this out. So I'm putting all my stamps. I'm using my stamping mat. It's one of my favourite things to use because you get that crisp stamping every single time. And then we're going to heat emboss. So we're just going to bring that in. You can see how beautiful. Now, if you leave that to dry naturally, that will dry, but you need to give it a bit of time to dry. So to speed that process up, we're going to do some heat embossing, and we're going to pop our clear pigment ink, clear embossing powder onto there. Now, if you've got anything, so one of the things with vellum as a medium, it can be quite hard to stamp onto because ink stays quite wet for longer onto it. So what I would suggest is either heat embossing, or if you go online and type in stays on ink, you will find ink pads which are called stays on, and they won't shift. They'll let you stamp onto anything, and they will dry very quickly. So we're just going to heat this up. I could have done with what I would have normally done is stamped again onto this, because I didn't feel like I've got enough ink on there, but it will do the job. I just normally like to stamp twice, and the reason I didn't go in again was because my vellum sort of come up off of my board, and if I'd stamped that down I probably would have got it in the wrong place.
There's something very magical about watching it change colour, isn't there?
Yes, it's amazing when it starts to change colour, yeah. It's always so nice to watch it. Now I'm doing something different we don't normally do. I am moving this around because I just want to sort of heat it all up without burning. Because it is something that can burn because of the medium. But look at that, I mean, absolutely beautiful. Now obviously if you've got embossing, gold embossing powder, that comes out a bit more crisper, but I actually quite like that as well. So let's pop that to the side. Now what we're going to do this time, I'm going to bring in a different medium, which I promised earlier, which is our colour blend pencils. Now I'm using our primary tin that these have come out of, and the colours are blackberry velvet, mauve, ivory and emerald. And then we're going to colour with those. But I'm not going to colour on the front, we're going to colour onto the back. And it just makes a really beautiful design. What I love about pencil colouring is you can really just be quite, it's such a smooth surface to colour onto that it makes it effortless. which is amazing, and I love it.
And you can then build it up as you want it to get darker.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm going in with a really soft hand just to build that first layer of colour up. And all we're doing, we're going to just use that on our petals.
And all those colour blend pencils are in stock, so if you have a look at the website, you'll be able to see those. So this is a primary tin that you're using.
Yeah, I'm using the primaries. All these colours come out of the primaries, which is a great starter set if you want to go for pencils. What's really special about our pencils is they are 100% wax pencils. Some pencils on the market, they bind pencils with lots of fillers, talcum powder and sort of all different things that combine them all. We've got pure pigmented wax in ours, which makes them just an unbelievable pencil. And then all I'm going to do is go in and we're going to add that darker colour into the middle section.
So if they are have wax in them, does that mean if you were, sometimes when you use pencils you might want to use a bit of water on them and almost get like a watercolour effect from pencils. You wouldn't be able to do that with these, but you can do that with watercolour pencils.
You can, yes.
But obviously you wouldn't do that on the vellum.
We do aqua pencils, which would do that, but no, these ones are, so what these are great for is we did do, I'm not sure if we've got that in stock, but we did do a blendable solution. So you could actually put it onto, and I have got some paper stumps as well, but actually what you can do is blend with your paper stump without anything on them. Because they're wax, we can move that about. So we can actually just work these. So the solution is in stock, so if you did want to use solution, and you can still use solution on this, but actually the blendability of just your stump, so you can see the purple coming off on there, is blending that colour together. So you're just going to go round and just, you're sort of burnishing it in almost to get that smooth colour. Can you see now?
Yeah,
we're getting that.
It's almost like
really
using those
smooth
wax, they're like the oil pastels I remember using when I was at college.
Exactly.
It's got that kind of feel to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just a really nice way to do them. I mean, obviously we did earlier with our tri-blend pens, which work beautifully, and you will be able to get those as well, so just shop the day. But actually this is just showing that it's a masterclass, so we want to show as many different things as we can to do with your vellum. So then when you turn that over, you've got this beautiful effect coming through. Now you can still colour onto the front of them, and then once you finish, I'm going to bring, chucking everything everywhere, bring our finished one in, and you can see I've coloured on the front of this one and just added all those extra details which look really pretty. And then all we're going to do is I've got some extra leaves which I've just trimmed out. So the nice thing about these, we've got leaves in these flowers, we've got extra, I did have extra, I'm wondering what I've done with them now, just, oh there it is. There it is. I've just done another one, and I've just fussy cut around that gold as well. And then we're going to make this into a card. So I've got Sarah's Enchanted Dreams on. So we've got that paper pad, which is absolutely stunning. I really love having a pattern paper behind, especially when you're using plain vellums, because when you put them over, you actually just get that nice look through, which looks very pretty.
Lovely.
So I've got a piece of Centura, which we're just going to pop onto the front of our card. I've already just put my gold card round, and I've just cut it out so I'm not being wasteful with the card. And then we're just going to stick this onto the front.
Tim sent in a question. I use pergamona craft and parchment paper. Can you use it similar to vellum? Just wondering if it's got similar properties. I think you were saying before it's to do with the thickness, isn't it? So the parchment is thicker than
I
the vellum?
believe parchment is thicker. Yes, it's a lot thicker. So very similar mediums, but if you had two of them together, you'd be able to tell that it's thicker than vellum.
But you possibly would be able to stamp on it in the same kind of way.
You'd be able to do everything with it as what you do. I think parchment has a more rigidity to it because it's parchment craft. And in parchment craft, we have there's different boards on the market. So you put your parchment onto it, and you use a special tool.
You're like scoring through it, aren't you?
And it stops. So I think sometimes with vellum, unless you're really careful, you could easily tear into it. Where parchment's thicker, and you wouldn't tear into it because it's actually designed for you to put that indentation into it, which looks amazing. So yeah, I wouldn't say there's a massive difference, but from what I know, I think parchment is a thicker medium.
Yeah. Not to be confused with baking parchment, which is entirely different.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Don't start using baking parchment.
That's more like greaseproof paper, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. I'm looking for there it is right in front of me, my dotty tape pen. And all I'm going to do, so this time I'm going to use, I've cut myself just a square frame, so you can use our frame nesting dies for this. You could use our just regular nesting dies. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to sandwich between the two. So we're going to pop that onto there. So that creates our background. And then what I want to do is add another one, which we're going to put onto the front. So that just really secures that completely inside our frame. So
we've had another question.
Yes.
Would metallic pencils work? This is from Debbie. Would metallic pencils work?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, metallic pencils would look amazing. They would look really amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Any pencils would work. And actually, even watercolour pencils can work, because you can put wet mediums onto here as well.
Okay.
It just takes a little bit longer to dry.
And it won't wrinkle?
Sorry?
It won't wrinkle?
Well, so what it doesn't do, like if we onto normal cardstock, if you was to put water products, it would almost make it like a mush on the top, because it's too wet to take, because the tooth of the card. But because this is the sort of medium it is, and it's just sort of like a shiny medium, it takes water quite well. So it will slightly wrinkle if it's too wet, but it takes it really well as well. So you can watercolour directly onto here, which is amazing. It's so great that we can do so many different mediums. So let's put some foam onto those edges, and we're just going to higher that up a little bit.
What are you using there?
So I'm using the foam on a roll. Foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll. Hey!
I'm so sorry that we keep mentioning the sticky stuff that's slightly raised.
Foam on a roll, do 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 do. Foam on a roll, do 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 do. Foam on a roll. I just cannot get that one.
Lots of people have been messaging in saying they've been really looking forward to seeing this. Lee says, good morning, Debbie, Becky, and all my crafting friends from Maine.
Morning.
I've been looking forward to this class. I'm sure we will not be disappointed with Debbie's talents. Love the Vellum deal. Leonie says, hello everyone from Houston. I'm one of the people who asked for this class specifically for using patterned vellum for the collection. I'm at work, so I'll be lurking and listening.
So your wishes are command, as they say.
And that's the great thing about being able to sort of interact with you, because if there are any questions that you've got, just message them in. No question is a silly question.
Absolutely.
And if there are things that you want to learn about, there's sort of, I found Glue School very useful, because there's so many different types of glue, and you know, you don't want to buy the wrong thing and ruin your project. I found that was really handy. So if there's anything that you want to learn more about, please let us know, and we will we'll come up with something. But no, I think the Vellum Masterclass is a stroke of genius, I think.
Absolutely. Now, the other thing with vellum, it's really pliable. So your pokey tool is going to be your new best friend where it's concerned. So where I've done that one way, I can then just curl all our little leaves up like that, and it will go the opposite way. So you can really mold these to how you want them. What I'm also going to use, I'm going to use some of our 3D glue gel. So this is great for actually putting on to the back, and you won't see this either, because we've used our pencils. They're going to sort of mask where we want to put it, and we're just going to add some extra dimension to here. And then the same with our leaves as well. I'm going to just curl them one way and then just flick them up the next way, and it just gives some really beautiful dimension. And again, oh, we got that the wrong way, and again it just adds beautiful texture. So let's pop that into there, and then we'll do the same with the other way. Again, it's just have a play, get your pencils out, and just do different effects that you've got, and you'll see some real magic come to your cards. Let's pop that under there, just like
That's so very pretty.
It's so lovely, isn't it? And then we've just got one more little bit here, which we're going to put onto, we're just going to pop that inside that bit there, just to give some dimension. And then all we're going to do to finish off, always like to put a little bow onto our projects, just like so. But look how beautiful and pretty that card is using that vellum.
Stunning.
And lovely and soft. You've got that real soft focus. If that was done onto white card, it would look quite stark white. It just gives that really soft focus. And when you sort of move it, you can see those patterns in the background. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, they're really lovely, and those colours are beautiful. It reminds me very much of, I don't know if you've ever watched, we were talking about this, Crazy Rich Asians. There's a section where, at a wedding, and they're holding these beautiful flowers that light up, and it just looks like that. It's
oh,
beautiful,
okay.
really
Yeah, I'm going to watch
that later.
Yes, I'm talking about going to Singapore next year. So Becky said to watch that. She said because it's all about Singapore as well. So
it's very exciting.
Yeah, to look out for that.
So to show you again these stamps, this is the poppy one. This is your proud poppies. Then we have the delicate blossom. That's the one we've just used just now, the kind of cherry blossom. But actually using those colours, it makes it almost look more like water lilies. Really pretty sort of colours that Debbie's used there. This is the divine rose one here. And then we've got your radiant ranunculus as well. So £11.98 or $16.68. That's your platinum price. So a wonderful idea to work on. But obviously you're going to need your vellums. So we have the vellums in this fantastic deal. So if you buy 4 and you get 2 for free. So you can get all of this, all 6 pads for just £41.57 or $51.04. You've got so many different pages in 156 different pieces. You've got all these patterned vellums, but you've also got some plain vellums in there as well. So very sort of intricate designs, but also some very sort of loose kind of designs, sort of very great for backgrounds and that kind of thing. So definitely well worth popping inside your basket today. We do also have some other vellum, and this has been really popular. So these are our vellum inserts that we've got on the show, and again we've got a great deal for you. So if you buy these 2, so you've got one Christmassy one and one sort of general sentiment one here. You buy these 2, you get these 2 for free as well. So these are your larger one. These are 5x7. Again, you've got a Christmas Christmas sentiments as well as plain ones. So these are £12.78 or $20.72. So you're buying those and you're getting those for free. So if I show you what they look like inside, you've got a mixture of different inserts. Some of them do have gold on them. Some of them just have the sentiment in black. But as we saw earlier today, you can ink these, you can colour them in. There's all sorts of things you can do. You can again stamp further designs onto these as well. You don't just have to use exactly how they are. You can sort of adapt them for you. And I'll show you what this one looks like as well. So this is the larger one. This is a 5x7, and so we can flick through. So you can see here where you've got these ones with a little sort of flower. You can colour those in. You can put some wash around the back. There's all sorts of things you can do with these. And perhaps you might just want to use these as sort of part of a topper. Then you've got the rest of this you could do all sorts of other things with. So it's definitely well worth getting these when you're getting, you know, buying 2 and getting 2 for free. I mean, who's gonna not want that? And as we can tell by all the people that are putting it in the baskets, that's what everybody wants. Definitely. So the other thing we have are some flower dies. So we're going to be using these in some demos a little bit later on. So these are buy 2 and get 1 free. This is your perfect peony. And you can see how effective these are made with the foam, but we're going to be showing you how you could use these with the vellum as well, but obviously you can use them with the cardstock also. Then you've got this one here, which is your, I can't even read it. Bewitching Blooms. Yes, I couldn't read that. Bewitching Blooms as well. And then you've got your beautiful blossoms. I'll put my teeth back in. Beautiful blossoms here, and that's effectively the free one that you're going to be getting. So you'll be able to use these for all sorts of different things. If you're going to be using them for Christmas, you don't have to be using them for just the summertime. There's all sorts of different times you can be using those, and you're going to be using these in your next demo with the vellum. Yes?
Yes, definitely.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so let's bring in some of those which are amazing. So even though these are classed as foam flower dies, wise. I love the fact that you can paper craft them, but also being able to make them out of vellum, which just makes the most amazing flowers. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my vellum and we're actually going to fold it in half. And I'm going to fold it in half again because you can actually create much more flowers by doubling them up in one pass through your Gemini. Now in the earlier show we showed them going through the Gemini Mini, so just cut your cardstock to no bigger than 3 by 6. But it's just a great way of being able to cut multiple flowers out in one go. Now creating flowered vellum, creating vellum flowers is such a nice thing to do because it makes them quite fluffy, so a really nice medium to cut onto, and obviously when you can cut multiple layers in one go makes it so much easier. So let's just cut, in fact let's do our 2 smallest ones. I do have pre-done flowers already, but I want to show you how we can pop them together, and then we're going to do the same with this one. Let's see if we can.
We've had a few questions coming in. What glue should you use on vellum? From Karen.
Yeah, great question. So there's different, we'll go through the glues as we go along because different projects you can do different things with. I have to tell you that our foam, our tape pens, they're not in stock at the moment, but they do not show through vellum, which they're amazing because it's one strip of glue. It just doesn't show. It's absolutely brilliant. So we will be getting them back in soon, but we do have the dotty tape pen. But also use your tacky glue because tacky glue is brilliant. Just use it in your little precision bottle. Put a little dot on each corner of whatever you're putting down, and you'll find that that will work beautifully. You can add just some gems at the side. What I'm going to use on these ones to stick them, we're actually going to use our hot glue gun. Right. Because vellum can take that as well. It can take the heat, so we can put our glue gun, and that's going to hold all our flowers together as well.
And leads very nicely into the next question. When do you use hot glue and when do you use the 3D glue?
Okay, so the hot glue gun I tend to make if I want flowers that are going to stick together quite quickly, because it dries quite quickly. Once it starts to cool as soon as it goes on something, and it's pretty much touch dry within a minute at least. Glue gel is brilliant if you want some movability. So if you want to put them onto something and move things around and have that time, it's touch dry in an hour through our 3D glue gel, but it takes about 12 to 24 hours to dry solidly completely, so you need to have that time. So if you want to make a card and you want to send it that same day, I would definitely go for the hot glue gun instead of your 3D glue gel. Right. We did learn, Becky, as well that because our Debbie Robinson calls it chunky glue, so and she said she's got to stop doing that in case people start trying to find chunky glue. And I think it was Ben, and he researched it, and actually if you type in chunky glue, it comes up at our 3D glue gel. How funny is that?
She's a trendsetter, that's what it is. Yeah,
absolutely. So our Debbie we all can just call it chunky glue now. Chunky glue, as our Debbie would call it, absolutely. Yeah, hamster pillows, I wonder what we... Try that, Ben. Type in hamster pillow and see what comes up. They'll be like, I'm sorry, we can't find anything in the search.
That hamster pillows thing, there was a show that I did, and I was saying about my friend who's a gerbil milliner. A
gerbil
milliner, he makes hats for gerbils.
No.
So,
Is that true?
Yeah.
How do they
Gerbils of Highgate is his Instagram handle. He makes hats for gerbils. I mean, it's not his full-time job.
I thought you were going to say it's not his fault.
He's got a whole company, thousands of people working for him. It's just like a conveyor belt of hats.
So the next question is, why would gerbils wear hats?
Well, every well-dressed gerbil needs to wear a hat. I mean, what happens? You can't turn up at Ascot without a hat, even if you're a gerbil.
Do people take their gerbils to Ascot?
I don't know. Maybe it's a trend. I don't know, maybe next time I go to Ascot, maybe I'd have a couple of little gerbils
That is
hanging
hilarious.
on the top of the hat. Yeah, he started, he's had a couple of pet gerbils, and they particularly liked wearing hats. I mean, you have to look at the Instagram pages, because actually the photo is hilarious. He's made like a Maleficent hat with like the horns. He's made a Thor helmet. Yeah, he's done some great hats. And it just goes to show, you know, if you're crafty, your craftiness comes out in all sorts of different ways.
Well, I think I need to put in a request for towel protectors, because we had a gerbil and my daughter pulled the towel off.
Oh no!
Yeah, true story. Yeah, she literally, when she was little, she come in and her hand was behind her back, and she was like, "Mum, I pulled the gerbil's towel off." And I'm laughing. I was going, "You haven't pulled the gerbil's towel," but then she's holding the towel, and the poor gerbil's running around with just this big bone hanging out.
No. Is that something that they do when they're frightened?
Yeah, so they release their towels. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Right, so we'll get off the gerbil towel. Sorry that I've given people the chills again. I have told that story a few times, but it's yeah, a couple of times too many. It's very true, Ben. I do have horror stories of pets, unfortunately. I shouldn't be allowed them, should I? Right, now I'm going to take our ball tools, because these are really handy for shaping. So I'm going to turn them over to start with, and we're just going to press in. Now, like I said before, vellum is very pliable, so you can literally use it to shape. Then I'm going to turn that back over the right way, and we're just going to shape in that midsection. So we're getting a lot better shape into there. So let's bring this round again to the back, and then we're going to pop these together. But the other thing I want to do with these, you can add glitter to these, you can emboss the edges, which look really great. There's lots of different things that you can do with them, and they look amazing.
And we do have all these tools available on a special deal. So you've got the ball tools, you've got the foam pad, not the one that you're using there, but a smaller one. You've got the tweezer selection with 4 different types of tweezers, and also 2 pokey tools as well, for £15.99 or $22.99. So that's a really good deal as well.
Yeah,
and they don't need heating up the way you would do with flower forming foam.
You said that really well then, Becky.
I know.
Yeah,
I won't be
you've
able
had
to do it
good
again.
practice now. Look, round of applause in the gallery.
Thank you,
I like that. Can you do it again? Right, so let's just bring those ones in, and then we can start popping our flower together. And I want to show 2 different ways actually of being able to do your edges, which is good. So let's pop those to the side. So we'll do one in one way, and then we'll do another one in the other. All my ones that I've done are glittered, but I want to show, I'm going to use a bigger tool for this one. So just to bring those petals in. And remember, you can still use your pokey tool if you want to sort of manipulate your petals even more. But it's just a nice way of getting that shape and popping them in.
When you make sugar flowers, you do it in exactly the same way.
Oh really? I've never made sugar flowers.
Yeah, so I used to have a cake business, and I
see, look, you with your stories. How did I not know that?
Often,
you've never bought in cake, Becky.
I know, but it's because I live a long way away. 6 hours it took me to get here yesterday.
Yeah, that's
6
true.
hours.
The cakes might have melted.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be very pleasant. But all those techniques by using the sort of foam pad and the ball tool is exactly the same. Using the foam, the vellum, and also if you're using sugar paste, it's exactly the same kind of thing. So it's quite. I always found it quite therapeutic making flowers.
Yeah.
You know, you can get lost in them, can't you? And before you know it,
Totally.
you've made 3,000 flowers and you've only got 2 cards to make.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so easy to get lost in them. Whether you're foam making, whether you're making them like this, yeah, quite amazing. So what I am going to do now with these ones, so I'm going to pop them together first, but with this one, and actually, do we do it first? Yeah, I think I'm going to pop them together first. So let's bring in our glue gun. So we're just going to pop these into each other. So let's get my bigger ones first. Just put a little bit of glue on the back, and then we're going to sort of alternate them. And then our next one.
So even if you're using the 3D glue, this bit you would tend to use the hot glue for anyway, and then perhaps attach the finished flower with the 3D glue. You wouldn't necessarily do all of these sections building up. You need them to, you know, sort of dry or adhere quite quickly, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely, and especially if you want to do sort of different things with them like we're going to do. So I'm going to just make sure they're all where we want them, and then we're just going to go into there and push down. So that will then create our flower.
That's beautiful.
So really, really lovely, but we can make it look really pretty. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I've got some stickles, so you'll be able to find sort of stickles on any web search engine. I'm not sure if we do them on our website, but all they are is a glitter glue basically.
Yeah.
And they're really handy for actually just putting on the edges. So if I just bring that round, sure I've got some up there, and we're just going to put them around the edges. This is a beautiful way. Yeah, you just need to put a little bit wherever you want it around the edges. The other way of doing it is just to get some normal glue, our tacky glue, and then just add some glitter on the edges, which do exactly the same. But look how pretty that looks. Absolutely beautiful. So we'll just carry on round. Do a few more. I've got a finished one because obviously you need to let your glitter glue dry, but just coming round. Oh, I think I've got a blockage. Right, so not to worry, we've shown you how to do that, and you can see how beautiful that is. If I bring in my finished one here, look at that.
That's stunning,
Just
really
all
lovely.
those glitters on the end. Now the other way that you can do them, so your glitters are beautiful and make amazing flowers. Let's glue these ones together, and then we'll do something a little bit different. So I'm going to use these bottom ones.
So many people are saying, Patricia, I'm in love with this Day of Vellum demonstration. Thank you, Debbie, for sharing these techniques. Happy crafting days ahead for sure. Mary says, wonderful Vellum masterclass, Debbie, thank you. And I think that's the sort of general, you know, feeling that it's so nice to have something a little bit different to see.
Yeah,
Clarisse said, can you use brads to attach the vellum to a card?
Yep, perfect. Yeah. Absolutely great.
And then they
idea.
hide the, you know, you haven't got any glue to try and hide,
yeah,
do you?
we have got a demo where we're going to do just that, and I've got some brads to put on it, so you'll see exactly that technique, which is a great one. So yeah, thank you for saying that, because I love everyone. You know, we have all these ideas, but people have their own way of doing different things, and it's great to hear it, because there's always stuff that I'm probably going to miss. I've got glue everywhere now, look, so not to worry.
Didn't we say yesterday, or I think someone was saying yesterday or a couple of days ago, how you're a very tidy crafter?
Yes.
But not today. Like you say, there's glue everywhere.
There is glue everywhere, but I still do tidy up as I go along. So
yeah,
the other
always.
thing to do here is to use so I'm using my watermark, so this is just translucent clear, and all this does, it adds a wet pigment ink to the end, and all I'm doing is running that down, just like so, and then turn that round, and then do exactly the same, and it's just picking up those edges. This is a really nice technique.
That's a really good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit different to your regular embossing. And then what I have got, I've got some silver embossing powder. So all we're going to do is bring in that piece of card that I had, just there. And then we pop that on there. And all I'm going to do is sprinkle our powder around there. So, and then just tap that off. Just like so, and then all I'm going to do is just pop that back in. And I mean, if you wanted to use like on the inside your little anti-static bag, you can. And all I'm going to do is use my pokey tool to hold it in place, and we're going to grab the heat tool, and we're going to heat that embossing, and that's going to give us a completely different look by just melting. Look at this.
Wow, that's magical.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, and you get these really sort of distressed petal looks. It almost looks like someone's dropped like silver onto them.
Yeah.
Through the middle of that one. But that's another really nice effect of being able to do your flowers. Let it sort of dry, but look at that. I mean, for your poinsettias at Christmas, you could make them out of red vellums, but a really nice way of just adding that finishing touch. So, but I did do on my ones, we did all the glitters on here. So look, bring all these glitter ones in, use all your different vellums, use your little flower dies, like all the little ones,
so
just
pretty.
as these ones. And then I've got some leaves. And what we're going to do, we're just going to pop a box together. But what I also want to do, if I bring this in, do you know we were talking earlier about the vellum pads?
Yeah.
Which are amazing. So these are really good for using as your actual toppers on your makes. So whether it be your cards or whether your boxes. So all I'm going to do is bring in, I've got a box, I've done my box here. So I will give you the measurements. And I've got a nice bright pink. So this is our pink Centura Pearl. Pop that on top. Look at that. Completely changes it and looks like a card front, which is amazing. And our box size, let me just give you the size of this. It's 7.5 by 9.5. And I've scored in at 1 inch all the way round on the box lid side. Now my box base, I'll tell you the measurements of that one. And that is 9.5 by 11.5. But this time I've scored in at 2 inches to make the box base. And then all we're going to do is, before we put our box together, we're actually going to decorate. So we're going to pop our flat pieces on first. And again, because I want to use my flowers around the actual design, I know that there's places that I can position my glue without having to worry too much. So all I'm going to do is use my tacky glue. Actually, because I've got my pen at hand rather than my tacky glue, let's just use our tape pen. So that's this one. And I'm just going to come round, so I know that I can pop this at the edges. And actually, I mean, these pens don't really notice. So just going to go all the way around with these on that edge. And there. And then we can pop that onto that piece. Oh, and because we've got a bright piece of card, you can slightly see that, but actually it gives it a nice frame all the way around, and we can cover that, so I'm not too worried. And then we're going to pop that onto the base.
Those flowers would work really well as a headdress, you know, for bridesmaids and things, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Look beautiful. Now, I am going to put my box together because we're going to put our flowers on using 3D glue gel, because I can then manoeuvre them about. So all I'm going to do is add to our tabs our glue. So onto each one, so all around your 4 sides, just like so. And what I would say is, if you were sticking something you need to push down, like the papers that we've just put on, don't put your box together yet, do it at the end. But as we're just going to be putting our flowers on the top and we need them to dry, this is not a good idea to do after that. So we want to do it because we're moving the box around. So we're going to pop that into place. So that's our box. Now I've already popped my lid on. Sorry, I've already made my box base, so we're going to pop that into place. And then, just so we can hide our glue, we can then know where to position. So I'm going to use my 3D glue gel, and we're just going to bring these pieces in. So piece on the back there, so let's pop that there. We're going to pop another one onto this side. And then we've got our purple one, which I'm going to use down the side here. So just making sure we can see that. And then I've got lots of little flowers, so let me bring those in. And these are all, and we've got lots of leaves as well, so we can sort of hide all our workings. Just stamped out some of our little leaves there. Got lots of leaves. And remember, all these are very pliable, so vellum is very pliable. So when you're using them with your pokey tool, it is just a case of doing, sort of shaping them. And they will look...
It looks so effective, because it's almost ethereal, isn't it, vellum? You know, you're looking through, it's almost like a fairyland kind of feel to it.
Absolutely.
They really are very, very pretty.
Yeah,
and I
really
would never
lovely.
have thought of using all those different techniques. Lots of people absolutely loving the flowers. Mary Beth says, beautiful flowers, need to be making vellum flowers more often. I needed this class, thanks Debbie. Christine says, woohoo, oh no, sorry, wow. Wow. Jenny says, those flowers are gorgeous, must have a try as I've got loads of flower dyes. Violet says, oh, that's lovely. We've also, Alistair, you're Alistair, says, I bet it would look lovely in gold as well.
Oh, no, he's becoming a crafter, bless him.
He is, isn't he? Yeah, gorgeous, another stunning flower, lovely, beautiful, so pretty, so pretty. Everyone is just amazed by what you're doing today, Debbie. And I'm not surprised because it's stunning.
Lovely. But do you know what's nice, Becky, is it's achievable for every person.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not doing anything that's difficult for nobody not to do. If you are a beginner crafter, but vellum is such a lovely medium to start with. I mean, a really beautiful medium. But if you're an advanced crafter, you think of all the different ways that you can do them. And we're just touching on the surface of the different things that you can do with them, which is amazing. So we're just filling those little areas, and I have got somewhere, it's probably right in front of me. And here we go, it's my bow. So let's pop that into there. So we're going to pop our bow. I'm going to pop our bow here, which means I don't really need that one there. So let's pop that down here. And that way, can you see, we're just filling, so you're not being able to see anything. Yep. And don't be frightened of filling either. Sometimes, I'm a bit of a more is more girl. Yep. Like a lot of people sort of say, you know, less is more, and sometimes that is the case. But there's a lot of times when we can easily put something into place, and it just looks so pretty. So
well, I always think a beautifully wrapped gift, it could be anything, but if it's beautifully wrapped, it makes something. So that could just be, you know, I don't know, a croissant in there. Or, yeah, very lovely. Or a Greg's sausage roll in there. But it would be, it's so beautiful. You know, you're looking at the box, aren't you? You're loving the box. Years ago, my uncle had a girlfriend who came from not Colombia, I can't remember where it was, but she said we gave her some presents at Christmas, and they weren't just small presents, but they were really beautifully wrapped, and she was just blown away. She didn't open the presents because actually having the box that was beautifully wrapped, she thought was a gift.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know, where she came from, you children get presents at Christmas and birthdays, but that's it. Nobody else gets gifts. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
She was amazed that these beautiful gifts not only look great, but they also had something inside them as well.
But there we go. I'm going to stop there, but look how beautiful.
That is stunning,
boxes.
Absolutely stunning.
And you can make all those flowers out of that beautiful vellum.
Lovely, really, really beautiful. Now, I have had a question about boxes. Anne says, when I make boxes, I find the sides don't stay straight. How should I strengthen them to make the box more sturdy? Is that using a heavier card?
So, yeah, definitely use bigger cards. So, last week we did a craft along.
Right.
Was it last week, Ben? So Ben did the craft along with me, and first thing he said, well, I won't be able to do the box because the box won't work. Every time I make a box, the sides don't meet, exactly what you've just said.
Yeah.
So if you go back and watch that show, I showed some hints and tips of how you make the perfect box, and honestly, Ben was so made up. He said, it fits. He made the perfect box, and it literally is. It's the way you cut the edges, so the way you cut the sides. Leanne taught me when I did product training, when I became an accredited demonstrator. This was years ago, and it was absolutely a revelation because I was like, I never could get those sides to meet before. But there is, you allow yourself a little bit of wiggle room. Use a boxer board. And the other thing is folding. Now that sounds really strange, but I'm going to bring my piece in that I haven't done. Most people would turn their smaller edge over and fold it.
Yeah.
What that does is it stretches which is this bit of the card. So
Right.
always start with your largest bit and fold over onto your small piece. And it really makes a difference. You get a straighter edge on this piece without it curling.
Right.
And then your box pieces, what you would do is cut into them, snip this triangle off. So when you pop that together, you have wiggle room. So even if that comes up a bit, you've got a little bit of room to push that down and make the perfect mitered corner.
Right.
So there is ways to make your boxes fit. So please go back and watch our craft along last week. Well, I think it was on Wednesday, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it was Wednesday, and it was the craft along we did for, oh Ben, what was it for? The floral frame dies, yes. So, and Ben got his first star because he won Demo of the Week with it. So, which is amazing, yeah. But yeah, last Friday. So do apologise. So go back and watch last Friday's craft. If you type in craft along for last Friday, you'll be able to see that. But actually, if you just type in box making on any Crafters Companion search engine, you will find how to make that perfect box.
Lovely. Good question. Little did we know we would be able to give such a full answer and something to watch as a demonstration as well. So to show you what these dies look like, you can see exactly all the different dies you're going to get in this set and the flowers that you're going to get to be able to make. So this is the perfect peony one here. Then you have the bewitching blooms here. And then the final one is beautiful blossom here. So you're going to be getting these for £14.38 or $18.32. We've also got, these are the tools that we were talking about earlier today. So we've got the ball tools here. So these are double-ended ball tools. So you've got different sizes here, and you've actually got a foam pad. It's not the foam pad that Debbie was using earlier on, but it's a foam pad you can use for creating these. So you'll be getting these. You'll also be getting the little tweezers, so a set of 4 different size tweezers, and you get 2 pokey tools as well. So this is £12.79 or $18.39 platinum price. I will show you the inserts, the Vellum inserts, before they sell out, because I don't think they're going to be around for much longer. So you'll be getting these two, you'll be buying these two. So this is the Christmas Tale and the Everyday Greeting. So these are your different ones that you can use here. If you buy these two, you'll get these two for free. So these are the 2 larger ones. So this is the 5x7. You've got the Good Wishes, and you've also got the Yuletide Memories here. So these are a mixture of black and also black and gold designs here. So this is £12.78 or $20.72. So I'll have a quick break, grab a cup of tea, check out your baskets, and we'll be back later, or in a few minutes, with yet more Vellum ideas.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get social with us. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, on your TV or tablet, you can get so close to the action, it's like you're in the studio with us. You can ask questions about products or crafty techniques. Get hints and tips from our expert demonstrators. Plus, share pictures of your crafty makes with our amazing community. Crafters TV, getting you closer to the crafty action. Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. So, join our family of craft experts with live tutorials and demonstrations every day. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products here on Crafters TV. Get creative and craft along with our amazing deals. Your next craft project is only a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week or watch on catch up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook or our YouTube channel. You can chat to us, craft along and meet new friends in our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
You're all our time with each other! You're not through to boot camp. Get off!
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. So, stop what you're doing and enjoy the fun here on Crafters TV. Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comfort of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
Hello, welcome back. Did you recognise anybody on that little video there? Those people working in the warehouse look vaguely familiar. Vaguely familiar. We thought we'd show you a few of the bits and pieces we're going to have on Cartload if they're still here. Now this has been so popular because when you look at the price, why wouldn't it be? So these are your abstract shape, stamp, die and stamp and die selections. So this first one here is a balloon bouquet, or buckets if you're watching. Hyacinth bouquet. This one is your endless love. Lots and lots of hearts inside a heart. I think this one's really, really pretty. So you've got your dies and your stamps there. This is your foliage flurry, which I think is absolutely stunning. And then you've got your celebration cake. And of course, all these little pieces you're going to be cutting out, you can always use those in your shaker cards afterwards. So it's the die that just keeps on giving. And then your butterfly wishes here. So you've got beautiful designs here. Now these are $7.99 or $10.95 each, but we've got them on a deal, all of them, for £8.80 or $12.80.
Each, they're each £10.
Yeah, so actually buying them all is cheaper than just buying one. How does that work? Does anyone know we're doing this? We're just going to keep quiet. This is just mind-boggling, this offer. So definitely grab it while you can because they're really, really good. The next one we've got, which again I thought this one was a better deal, but or the best, one of the best deals. But we've got so many deals for you. So you can buy your rocker blocks. So you've got them here for $7.99 or $11.19. But you don't just want this. We're going to give you £30 worth of free stamps to go with it, or $30 worth. So you've got all these different stamps here that you'll get with your pack. So you've got Lee Holland, you've got beautiful flower stamps that you can use. You've got sentiments in there as well. All of those for free. All of those for free when you buy this. I don't know. All I can say is I'm sure some people aren't here today and don't know what we're doing. Don't know what offers we've given you because these are extraordinary, aren't they? They're too good a deal. So these are going to be on Cartload later on, but they're the things that are super, super busy. So we thought we'd show you those in advance. Now we're going to go back over to Debbie for some more of the demonstrations, but please keep your questions coming in. If there's anything that you want to know about Vellum or indeed anything else, and if there is anything that you want us to sort of focus a masterclass on in the future, please do let us know because we'll be guided by what you want. I'd like more cake. I'm just putting that out there. Can you give me more cake?
We all want
We all
cake
want
today.
cake.
I think someone's going to have to go and buy some after here. Right, now I'm going to use a 3D embossing folder next to emboss our vellum. So apologies, because I used one which was in cartload and it's already sold out. But the good news is we do other 3D embossing folders that you can find on the web. And also, if you did manage to buy this one, you'll be able to do this technique with this exact folder. So got our embossing folder. I'm going to do it a little bit different to how I did my initial demo, because what I want to show you is how we can letterpress with these embossing folders. And all I'm going to do now, I'm taking my parakeet, my lemon tonic and my fuchsia. Now these are 2 or 3 colours that I know are going to blend beautifully together, but what I want to do is I want to place them directly onto my embossing folder. So I'm going to start with my lightest colour, because I don't really want to contaminate my other inks too much, especially with a lighter colour. And then we're going to go in with that red, blend that one in. Let's pop that on there, and a little bit up the top here to turn that round.
Again, I never thought about doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, never thought about putting my inks on my embossing folder.
And then I'm just going to bring in a bit of blue.
Oh, I'm learning so much. I'm going to have to go shopping in the break.
And just bring that into the other side. So you can see straight away we've got that beautiful pattern. Now what I am going to do, so I don't smudge it, I'm going to put my vellum onto the opposite side, and then we're going to bring our folder down. Now what you do want to do, and I always think, because vellum is a medium that's quite hard to emboss. I say hard to emboss, not hard to emboss, but you don't get that deep embossing that you would if you were using cardstock, because it doesn't have the same fibres that cardstock has. So it's harder to sort of stretch those fibres. Let me just put my ink pad lids on, and then that way we can just not get our fingers or anything in a muddle. There we go. So popping it on there with a 3D embossing folder. Just for any newbies, we need our plastic shim, our magnetic mat, our card with our folder, and then our top cutting plate on top. But I do want to use another card shim, so that's all I put on top. I found that the metal shim is too much pressure,
right,
and not having anything is just a little bit less pressure. So putting an extra card shim on there just seems to give that a really nice level of embossing. You could also put it through twice if you wanted to, because once it's pushed down, putting it through again, but do it straight away, because if you sort of have a look at it, it might shift a little bit, and then you get what I think is a double emboss, and that's actually not very good on the eyes. It makes you look like you're seeing double, because you've got that sort of little line. But look at this. Look how beautiful that looks. And that is just putting your inks onto your vellum direct to your folder. So that's a really nice way of doing it. Oh, actually, I think I had it the right way before. I'm turning it over because last time I embossed it, and actually look at that on the back. It looks beautiful debossed as well, showing the back piece. But we're going to use that front bit. So really nice and simple. Now, how I did it before and why I wanted to do it that way, because I wanted the flowers to show up, so you get that beautiful embossing. It looks like you've watercoloured it, doesn't it? Which is incredible. But also, you can add a little bit of water if you wanted to, and you can also, I'm going to just find my clear sparkle brush, because vellum you can go into, and I can sort of take from one thing. So if I want to just bring that in and water that down a little bit and add some sparkle, you can absolutely do that. Can you see it's moving now, all that ink? And it just gives it more, even more vibrancy. And it looks absolutely beautiful. So we can carry on with that all the way round.
Do you know, that looks like, you know Lalique glass?
Oh, what, sorry?
Lalique glass. So Lalique was a famous glass blower in France, and they did these very sort of frosted glass kind of designs, but beautiful, almost having this kind of embossing in it. And sometimes the perfumes that he would make or would go in them would be different colours, so you get that kind of look to it. It looks very much like that kind of like an antique glass blown bottle. with that effect. It looks beautiful.
It's so lovely, isn't it? And it just gives something totally different. So we're just going in, and all we're doing is making that more sparkly. In fact, I'm saying sparkly, I should have shook my pen, and I haven't shaken my pen. But I just love this look that you can really almost sort of be your own artist. Now you can see straight away that it's starting to curl, so that's the medium, but actually there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. What I also love doing, and what we were doing earlier, I'm just going to dry that off a bit now because it takes that little bit longer to dry. So let's just bring in our heat tool and just pop that over the top. Oh, I can see the sparkle now, so it is quite sparkly. If I hold that into the light, you'll see all that sparkle come in. So just running that over, making sure that's dry. And there we go.
Pammy says, have you tried making flowers using any of the patterned vellums? I have some vellums with patterns and I'm not partial to, and I wonder, instead of wasting it, would be used as flowers. That's like you were doing earlier,
absolutely.
weren't you?
I think it's a brilliant way of using your pattern ones. And I know what you mean, because sometimes, and a lot of my demos are being made with that in mind. I've used a lot of the plain ones because that's what you do. But actually, we did earlier, we embossed a piece of vellum and we put gilding wax over it, and that was one of our pattern ones. So use them to emboss as well, which is amazing. Now all I'm going to do is do a really quick card. I've just got myself a card blank. I've gutted the middle out of my mirror card, and we're just going to add a sentiment and just matte and layer these out. So let's pop this one on. So nice quick one, which is nice, and a really nice one to emboss.
I have got a question for you.
Oh dear.
Al would like to know how you manage to look so beautiful every day.
Oh, he's so lovely.
Oh.
I'm a very lucky girl, that's all I can say.
Yeah, not like my friends and family when I went to on this boat
yesterday.
on this train thing for Pride. And there were some drag queens on there, and three of my friends said to me, be careful how much makeup you put on, because otherwise people might think you're a drag queen.
I know.
Rude.
How awful is that?
Although, actually,
So
I have to
rude.
say, I did take makeup lessons from a drag queen, because I thought, if I want to learn how to contour and suddenly drop 6 stone from my face, a drag queen is the person to do that. And they're very good at teaching you how to put on really big eyelashes. So, yeah, but I was a little bit offended. I'm not entirely, I don't think of myself that I scream, wow, is that a man or a woman? When
I was really shocked, because I said to Becky, and although I found it funny, I found it funny that they would even think that, because I always think, Becky always reminds me, I think she's so glamorous, you always remind me of a Bond girl.
Aww.
Like
one of the ones that gets shot very early on.
Honor Blackman, that's who I think you're very much like. So
I'm quite happy for people to think I'm like Honor Blackman.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely, yes. So I'm just putting a sentiment there. I've just tied in that mirror card round the edges, and then we're just going to put a nice bow on there. But look at that for a card.
That's stunning.
I mean, it just looks amazing, doesn't it? And you would never guess that that's vellum in the background.
No.
It's just a really nice medium to do something totally different with, and I absolutely love that effect.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really stunning, and those colours, I think, make everything really pop. Yes. So if you are keen on having a go with vellum, the great deal we have is this. So you can buy 4 and you get 2 for free. So you'll get the whole lot here, all 6 pads, and they're all 8x8 pads, so you'll get 156 pages for just £41.57 or $51.04 if you are a Club Inspire member. Now, there's all sorts of different designs in there, and we've used lots of different ones in there, including sort of very patterned ones, things with very small patterns, very large patterns, and also some plain ones as well. I've got a few samples here for you to have a look. So you can see the kinds of things that we've created. But obviously, you know, with this masterclass that we're having today, we are showing you different ways of using these vellums. We're not just using them as almost like these ones are the way we would use them if we were using a paper pad, aren't we? You're using them in the same kind of way. We're using them in all sorts of different ways in this masterclass. So you'll see that we're using some sort of very busy ones with sort of very obvious patterns in there, and other ones which are a little bit more muted. This one here from the Sunflower collection, and they are really, really stunning. And I think this has it's certainly inspired me. And I think from judging from the messages that we're getting, it's definitely inspired you about, you know, what we're going to be, what we're able to achieve. This one, I mean, I loved this dragonfly collection. I think it was such a pretty design, and in fact, I think I did buy the vellum. And again, it's something that I've looked at and I sort of stroke. Because I am a paper stroker and a fabric stroker, but I haven't actually done anything with them. So I think this will be, you know, my inspiration to actually get out and start making a few more cards. And then last one here. Now, we've had loads of people messaging in. People saying, I love the embossing folder technique. Lynn says, Alistair, she's a happy beauty full of fun and laughter. P.S. love the story about the baggy trues and red trainers. And that was funny. Debbie and I were laughing about that
Al
last
probably
night.
doesn't know I told that story last night.
Oh dear. Maybe you'll be in a bit of trouble when you get home. We've also got these are the vellum inserts, which have just been mind-bogglingly busy. You get these 2 packs here. You buy these 2 packs here. So these are your 4x6 inserts. One Christmassy one or one general one. And you get these 2 5x7 ones for free. Again, a Christmassy one and a general sort of greetings one. So this is only £12.78 or $20.72 if you're a Club Inspire member. You're buying that, you're getting that for free as well. So really, really great offer. And loads of people have been putting these in the baskets, because I think, you know, these are, if you're going to be using them as inserts, that's absolutely fine, but you might be using them as, you know, a topper, and then using the rest of the vellum for something else, maybe making some of the flowers. So we're going to go to Debbie for some more demonstrations and some more amazing techniques.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got my vellum here, and we're also going to do some stamping as well. So the Radiant Ranunculus is a beautiful one. What I love about this one is these are really easy to trim out. So where your little snips that we had for the cartload are going to be great for just cutting these out, which is amazing. And you've got some really lovely sentiments in these stamps as well. So if you want a really good set of stamps for your florals and your sentiments, honestly, it's such a beautiful collection, this one. So we're going to pop them to the side, because we're going to create some backgrounds to start with. And our backgrounds we're going to create using, I haven't even got them, we're going to be using our reinkers. Now, we had the reinkers on the show a couple of Saturdays ago. Our Michelle used them, and used lots of different ways of being able to use them. Now, one of the ways I like to use them is onto vellum. So if you I've just took 3 of our colours and just check. Oh!
Uh-oh. Oh dear.
That was silly, wasn't it? That was very silly.
It could have been worse. It could have been over a card.
The worst thing with that, it won't go on my nails, but it'll go around the edge, look, so it'll really highlight that my nails need doing. So never mind, that'll be fine. So we've got a little bit there, a little splodge. And then we're just going to use, I've got a piece of acetate that I'm putting it onto. I was going to say, just so I didn't make too much of a mess. That didn't work, did it? So yeah, so if you haven't used our reinkers, although they're used to reink our pens, our classiques, they're actually great. So I've got a little bit, so on our website you'll find Tim Holtz, and Tim Holtz does some felts and some ink applicators, but our ink applicators work as well, but you can buy the packs of felts.
Yep.
They're a little bit different to the sponge, and they absorb it a little bit better.
Okay.
So I'm just going to tap into that, just using that, and we're just going to literally tap around. Just getting sort of a mess, getting in a little bit of a mess really. And then I'm just going to turn it round, tap into that purple, and we're going to use that same bit just to manoeuvre that around. And you can see, and actually it's quite difficult to get a, to get inks, alcohol inks, to go onto a different medium without them drying too quickly. But it's quite nice to be able to do this onto vellum, and it works quite well. They also work really well on photo paper. And then I'm going to use a little bit of green to add into there. And literally, we're just going to make sort of just a really pretty background. And you can do as much as little as you want. You can add a bit more into your pink, just sort of, and I'm literally, I mean, you can see I'm not doing any other technique other than sort of dabbing on. You could do that with a brush as well. So if you wanted to do a brush, dab that in, you'll get sort of different effects coming into there. So lots of different ones. Let that dry. I'm going to force mine dry. So let me just grab my inks and pop them over here. And then we're just going to bring our heat tool in and just give that a dry. Now I did try to do our foil, our gilding flakes, but the ink doesn't stay sticky long enough on this demo to do that, which is a shame. But I did try and it didn't work. You could spot glue onto it and put some of our gilding flakes if you wanted to do that. But I just wanted to create these sort of backgrounds. And these will look lovely when they're done and using your stamp. So what we're now going to do is, once you've done that, we're going to use this to actually stamp onto. So let's bring our stamping platform. We're going to pop that into place. And then I'm just going to pop my magnets there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in those flowers and place them on top. So just pop them sporadically wherever, whatever design you want, or if there's a bit of more of one colour you want to do, just pop them into place. Just going to make sure we pop our magnets right nearby. Because it's vellum, because the stamps, they tend to lift the vellum up from the sheet. So actually, it might have been a good idea to get like that, see? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be naughty and do what everyone knows that I do and knows it's me. I'm going to spray my platform. Everyone knows it's me, I don't have to pretend. I will try and remember to clean it, but actually I like to use just a little bit, spritz a little bit of our stick and spray, and that will help hold it into place. Okay. And then we're gonna, let's pop that back down.
If you were, you were showing earlier on you could use a paintbrush. If you were using a paintbrush with those inks, how would you clean that paintbrush? Do you clean it with alcohol? Do you clean it with water?
So you can, yes, so I would clean it with isopropyl. Right. And it's actually, you can buy it quite cheap on sort of the websites, and it's it moves your alcohol. You can do different techniques with it. It also cleans your brushes, white spirits, anything like that. Yeah, so I would say, or just keep one that you use particularly for that, and then that will work. So what we're going to do with this one, we're going to do some heat embossing. Going to bring in our black pigment ink pad, and we're going to just ink these up. I absolutely love these stamps. They've got that really beautiful fine outline on them, and just make them quite quirky. If you want something a little bit different, these are definitely stamps for you. So pop that into place. Just gonna, there we go, it's staying down, so beautiful. I am gonna just give another layer because we're going to add some embossing powder and heat emboss these. So right down in the middle again, pop them down. Oh, still missed that bit there, so I'm just going to move that. Oh, just heard how many people are watching. You're very loads of you watching today. You all wanted the show, see? You asked and we delivered. Right, so then we're going to, let me bring that piece of card in again and pop some of our embossing powder over the top. So just onto there. Now I'm not worried if this goes anywhere else, because what I'm actually going to do is fussy cut these out. Okay. So we don't have to worry about the embossing powder going onto anywhere else. So pop that on there, just pop my lid on my ink pad, and then let's use our heat tool to heat emboss these. Now these work really well, Becky, because of that really fine line. So it makes them really stand out.
Honestly, it's just magical. it's like, do you remember writing in lemon juice as a child, and then the hairdryer, so you got sort of invisible ink? It's like that.
You're going to have to, sorry, Becky, when I'm done, you'll have to repeat that because I can't hear when this is on.
No, I said if you want me now, I'll give you £1 million, but you weren't listening to me.
Miss me opportunity.
No, I said it's a little bit like when you're a child and you're making invisible ink out of lemon juice.
Yes.
And you're writing on something, and then you use the hairdryer around the back, and you can read what, it's normally something rude that your friend said.
I've never done that.
Never done that? Oh, Debbie. You know what we're going to be doing this evening?
Does that really work?
Yeah.
So you write in lemon juice?
You write in lemon juice, and then you leave it to dry, so obviously you can't see anything. And then you put some heat on it, so you either iron it or you put a hairdryer behind it, and you can read what's been said.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh, I want to do that. I didn't even know you could do that.
It's all go. It's all go in the house tonight, you know.
Wow. Yeah, we're going to be bungee jumping and crafting at the same
Extreme
time.
crafting with Debbie.
Extreme crafting, yeah. We're going to pinch Tesco's trolley and run down the hill and be heat embossing at the same time.
With a really, really long extension lead.
Oh yeah, no rude words in lemon juice though. Mine would be all the words that I end up saying that I shouldn't really say, and then end up thinking, why did I say that on air? But look at that. I mean, out of our patterns, so it's another thing. Even if you've got patterned vellums, you can do a similar sort of thing with them and create those beautiful flowers. Now, let's pop our card together, because what I've also done, I've got some more pieces here where I've just created a lighter background with slightly lighter shades and done the same thing. We're then just going to put our little card together, and this time we're going to mat and layer, and because I don't want to be able to see any sort of glue on here, what we are going to do is we are going to pop this into place, and then I'm going to use some little brads like we were saying earlier. So I've just got some tiny little brads here to put in each corner. So this is what we were saying before about how these work beautifully to actually hide all your workings, or actually not even to worry about where you put in anything. So all I'm going to do, position that into place. I'm going to then, and in fact I think the safest way to do it is to bring in my stamping mat. Don't want to lose my little brads there. And then I'm going to bring in my pokey tool, and let's pop that down. And all I'm going to do is pop a little hole just into there, and we'll do one at a time. So bring that up, pop that through, and then you can use, these are like those little split pins, and just
I'm
fold
sure
them
when I
down.
was a child, they weren't called brads, they were called something else.
Split pins, weren't
Were
they?
they split pins?
That's how I always knew them,
Yeah.
as a split pin, but I think brads has always been...
It's much nicer word for it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Little brads. I remember them being brads because of scrapbooking. So I started scrapbooking, was my first real sort of venture into card making. And they were definitely, I had all sorts of brads because that's what you use to put your photographs on your scrapbooks with. And then one there.
I just remember going and getting, they used to be quite big kind of gold coloured ones. They used to be the only ones that I'd see in like the stationers. And I do remember having them, but I don't really remember what I used to use them for. But as a kid, like you say, split pins I think is what I used to call them.
Yeah, they used to be quite big, didn't they?
Yeah,
You get the really big ones.
Yeah, nothing like this, nothing as pretty as this.
No,
they were
that's it.
kind of, they were sort of more of a kind of thing. I always felt that they were something a bit like treasury tags. You'd have them in like a lawyer's office, but I don't know what a lawyer would be using them for anyway. Who knows?
Who knows? Right, so just push those down and they will lay flat. So that creates our beautiful background there. So you wouldn't even think that was a piece of vellum, which is beautiful. And then we're going to mat and layer that onto some black cardstock. And then we've got our card blank to put on top of there. So let's bring that one in.
Lynn said, are those brads available? Are they?
I've got a little tub which has got like paper pins, brads, all those sort of things. I'm not sure if we do them online, but you will find them somewhere online. Oh yes, I forgot about that.
We've got
Yes.
some resin ones from Sarah's Vintage Butterfly collection.
I remember those ones. They are little butterfly, the little, oh, is it butterfly dragonflies? Oh,
nice.
butterflies, yeah. Very nice. Right, so let's bring in, I've got some little leaves as well, and let's bring in and decorate. And also, I've just got my Just For You. So let me pop that. We're gonna pop our white one over our dark one. So this sentiment was from the, I think we had them on earlier, or we've got them on Cartload. Do you know, from the sentiments, the interchangeable sentiment frames?
Oh, yeah.
I think they might be in those ones. So in Cartload, so we've just got that Just For You. And I'm going to pop that, in fact I'm going to pop that on afterwards because we're going to use these. And again, I'm just going to bring in our 3D glue gel.
I quite like a big sentiment. I said the other day, it's one of those things, you know, there's something on the radio show about unpopular opinions. And my unpopular opinion is that I don't like relationships on cards. So I
don't like relationships?
Yeah, so I don't like mother, husband, wife, that sort of thing.
Oh,
I don't like
okay.
that on a card. But I do like a big sentiment on it. I do like it to say, you know, just for you, but I just don't want it to say, just for you, my wife. It upsets me a lot, and my husband deliberately finds me cards that say, to my darling wife. And as I said before, he often finds me the same card. I get the same card with the same character on it, which I really don't enjoy receiving. But yeah, he thinks it's really funny because I don't like it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a
So
bear.
is there a reason that you
No,
don't
I just
like
think, I think I sometimes get cards because it says, you know, the relationship on them, but actually it's not a card that is me, or it doesn't have any sentiments in it that are particularly me. And I always think that rather than looking for, you need to look for a card that suits the person rather than one that's got the relationship on it. That's my personal opinion. Unpopular, I know. But
there you go.
That is beautiful.
But there you go. I mean, really simple.
Yeah.
But another thing, so being able to heat emboss and cut your flowers out there and your stamping, and then creating your backgrounds with your little reinker pots, which is amazing. You can do the same with your pens as well. So if you've got alcohol pens, create different backgrounds with them.
Lovely, really, really beautiful. They look fantastic, and I like those a lot. So those are our outline floral stamps. £11.98 or $16.68 that they are. We've also got some other bits and pieces for you. We've got the classic vellum, which is the one that I just keep leaving underneath the counter. It's just like I think, oh, I don't know, I don't want to get this out. So this is really beautiful. So this, to me, when I first saw this, it didn't look like vellum because these are such glorious colours. You've got beautiful colours in here. This is your 12 by 12 pad with 24 sheets in all these glorious patterns. So lots and lots of metallics in here. You've got these beautiful greens, kind of coppery colours, peaches, really beautiful and really elegant. And these are going to make everything look particularly expensive. These kind of like foiling techniques that we've got on here, they're lovely and really, you know, some very busy patterns as well as some sort of very simple patterns in here as well. That's £21.59 or $25.16. So definitely worth popping in your basket today. And then we've also got the dies that we showed you earlier on Wake Up Call. This one was, this one is particularly my favourite because I love the fact you're able to lift up the little parts of the butterflies here to get that kind of 3D effect. So this one is your elegant butterflies. Then we have the intertwining, very entertaining vines. No, entwining vines. Can't speak today, which is a bit of a problem, isn't it? Then we have your peacock feathers here, which is a lovely, really pretty design. And then the final one is your perfect peonies. So this is a 60% savings, so £16.62 platinum price or $20.42. Definitely worth popping in your basket because it might not be here later on. I'll give you the opportunity to check out your baskets, grab a little cocktail maybe, and we'll see you in a couple of moments.
Welcome to Club Inspire. the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Make light work of intricate and delicate die-cutting designs with the Pokey Tool from Crafter's Companion, an absolute essential part of any paper crafter's kit. Its precise tip has been designed to release the tiniest pieces to reveal your finished results with absolute precision. And to make sure your finished project is perfect, each Pokey Tool has a rubber tip protector, so there's no risk of damaging your die-cutting design or yourself. The Crafter's Companion Pokey Tool is such an essential craft item, we've included 2 in each set.
Quick Buy, get yours now.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Hello, welcome back. Hope you're settled with a nice cup of tea or a big pina colada. The pina colada is what I would like, but you know, we're not allowed to. It wouldn't be a good idea for me to be drinking here. We've had so many comments coming in. Mary Pat said, I'm in heaven this morning with this fabulous Vellum class, thank you. Maureen said, this is an amazing show. I'm glued from a hot Bedford. Initially, I thought that was a hot bed, but I added the Bedford bit there.
I'm from Bedford.
Bedford?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Bedford, England, I take it. So, yeah, that's where I'm from.
Anne said, and we called them paper fasteners. Yes, that's what I used to call them, paper fasteners. Yeah.
Oh,
so
right.
you would have them instead of like a stapler to hold things together. Gilmore says, that's a great opinion, Becky. I agree with you. I feel so much better because quite a few people seem to agree with you. It becomes too formal and it becomes impersonal. That's about having sort of relationships on a card. Lorna said, I'm with you on that, Becky. I'd much rather receive a card without any printed insert than one that isn't relevant to me. Yeah, I get some awful things, I have to say. Well, I really do. Jill said, I'm with you, Becky. It feels false and not what I would say. Carrie says, Debbie, those flowers with the silver edges are gorgeous. And Lynn says, an amazing card, Debbie. I mean, I think that is, across the board, everybody is totally in love with what you're doing.
Yeah, do you know what?
Really
It's, as a crafter, it's so nice that we're given a show like this where we can really put our own imagination into it. And I love thinking out of the box and trying to get new ideas. And like I say, if you've got any of your own, let us know, because it's always good to learn. And I'm going to keep learning. And actually, if this show's shown me one thing, it's to use a lot more vellum in our crafting, because we do the most amazing packs. If you haven't got any vellum, please go for the bundle that we've got on the show today, because it is absolutely incredible vellum to use. You've got your patterns and your planes in there, which is amazing.
I thought, as you were talking about that, I was just going to quickly flick through, because whilst you've shown the whole packs here, this is Country Lane, but if I just show you some of the designs, you can actually fully see the kind of vellums that you'll be getting in this pack. So this is just one of the packs. You can obviously get 6 of them. You can buy 4 and get 2 free for £41.57 or $51.04. But you can see how beautiful they are, and you're absolutely right. We don't use them enough. I certainly don't use them enough. I've always shied away, but I am going to definitely get out my vellums. Start playing with my vellums. So over to you for another demo, please.
Right, yes. Now, what I've got here, I've got myself a piece of vellum, folded it in half, but I've done it as a wrap for our card. So I've got a black piece of card, 4x6. I've just created a wrap that's it's slightly bigger, so it creates the whole front of your card there, okay? So that's our first thing we're going to do. So what I want to do, I want to create a stamped image on the top of my card here. So where my cross is, I'm going to put that sort of central to my piece of card. So this is why I love our board, so I can pop that centrally down, which is amazing. And then we're going to use a stamp. So you will find this on our website. It's the Flower and Bud stamp. These were our resist stamps that we've got here. So we're going to use this resist stamp to go straight over the top. So let me just take that one off. Oh, this looks like it could be a new stamp, hasn't been used. Right, so let's pull that one off. And we're going to pop that directly onto the top. Now I'm doing the vellum piece first, and I'll show you why in a second. So we're going to pop that on, push that one on top, and I'm just hoping, yeah, it's taking that up, but because it's double-sided and I've already stuck down, it's going to work beautifully. So I'm just going to make sure that all of that is on, because now what I want to do is I'm going to use, again, I'm bringing in that translucent. You will find that on our website, translucent clear, and this is just a clear sticky ink, which is what it is. It's like our pigment inks, but it's just a clear sticky one. You could use our white one. We do a white pigment ink pad, so you could use that. What I would suggest on such a big stamp is turn it round and also add that pressure down with that ink, because you get different levels of pressure on the front and the back of your hand. So just make sure that it covers that completely. And then we're going to pop that straight down and stick that down. So I'm going to make sure I walk all my fingers around there, covering that entire piece on the front. So the big resist stamps are great for that, but actually any of the mediums that we've got on, any of the stamps that we've got on, I'm just going to, because that will sit there, taking that one off. And there we go, I can move that away. So that's nice and sticky. Take off the back of there. And then what I'm going to do, I've got myself an oval shape from just one of our nesting dies. I'm going to lay that directly down into the centre as well. So popping that right down into the centre of our card and pop that in. But before we do anything with that one, we are going to bring in this one back in, and I'm going to use some white embossing powder.
Okay.
So we're just going to sprinkle that all over. So just make sure we've got everything covered, and that doesn't matter that we haven't got that covered. We're going to push that down to the bottom, just so that all goes on there. So you can see all of that is beautifully covered. I love this technique. I really love a white emboss technique. And this is just a really nice card to do. So we're going to pop that into place. and bring that one on top, and then again.
Already that looks really effective before you even emboss it.
I
doesn't
know,
it?
it looks amazing, doesn't it? Yeah, really lovely stamp. But like I say, any stamps will work, but the white powder will just be beautiful. And it's that
magical moment when it changes.
Effect. Isn't it beautiful? It's so weird having Ben singing in my ear and not across the other side of the studio. I love that you just make up tunes, Ben. Does it really? I'm the same. I'm always singing at home. Right, so we're going to pop that to the other side. I have to say, Al hums, and it drives me potty.
But is he a tuneful hummer?
No, it's really deep, loud. Oh, it does my head in. Sometimes when I'm downstairs working, he's upstairs working, and I text him and say, "Can you please stop humming? It's vibrating the floorboards."
my husband whoops. So he plays the music when he's having a shower, and he likes a lot of 90s house music, and he's just whooping, or sort of clap, clap, whoop, whoop. And sometimes he has the window down in the bathroom, and I'm sure people are driving past, just hearing people, husband go whoop, whoop.
Right, now I'm just clearing this because actually I want to stamp again. I don't want to move my stamp because I want to create another different stamp.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to use a black ink pad, and we're just going to stamp that up now into that middle section. I don't need it all because we're only putting it on to where we need it on that middle section. So pushing that down and then just having that one onto there. So that creates, look at that.
Oh,
absolutely, I know,
that's
it's beautiful,
really effective,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Really effective. So let's pop those to the side. And then, so this will go on the inside of our card, and then we can actually have it exactly where we need it, and you won't see the black. So can you see, as we put that inside, just like so, we can then lay that down, and then you can't see, but then you'll see it when you open up your card on the inside.
Oh,
but to see it better, I'm going to bring in that black piece of card back in. And then what I've done, and if I just bring my magenta, just give it a colour. Now we've got the tri-blends. Have we got the tri-blends on the show? I think we have. We had them on this morning. So I'm just going to give a really quick colour of one of the leaves so you can see what I've done. And then we're just going to bring in darker one, and then bring that in again.
But just that little oval with a section of that stamp, I think looks really nice. I like that idea, because we always think of, we take a shape and then we stamp right in the middle of it, don't we? We very rarely cut a shape out of that actual stamp.
Yeah, absolutely. So once you've coloured that in, that's the effect that we'll get onto there. Just use your magenta one, then I've used my dull green, and then just a bit of gold on the gold yellow onto there. And then we're going to bring in our, what did I just drop? Drop the sentiment. Let me bring this one in. So this will go over the top of our card. I'm going to bring my one in here that I've left flat and is completely dry. Pop that over. And then all I'm going to do with that is turn it round. Once it's on the front, so make sure that's all stable, we can stick that to the back of our card. And all I'm going to do with this one is put just one strip of tape pen across the top. So just across the top there, and then bring that down. So that will go there. You could always put another piece of card to hide that bit if you want to, but it is on the back. And then this piece we're going to put on the inside. But what we are going to do, we want to stick it here, but I'm going to make sure we've got it in the right place. So we're going to bring this in, pop that exactly where our colouring is. Can you see? Just on there. And we're going to bring it round until you can't see your black anymore. Once you've done that, bring that back down. And then we're going to just add some adhesive to the back. So I don't want to move it. And then we're going to fold our card on top of that as well. So straight down on top of there, bring that round so you can see you've got that beautiful front, and then your card is on your beautiful thing on the inside.
Lovely.
Clever that, isn't it? I absolutely love this card. And then all I've done is I'm using I've got a send in, and then I've used one of our love dies, and we're just going to pop those into place. So
Kelly has asked, what is vellum?
What is vellum? It's just a paper medium, basically. It's not plastic, but it's not paper either. It's just a different medium to what you would usually use, and it's almost got a slippery sort of surface, and it means that you can do lots of techniques like we've been doing, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And all we're going to do then is put our send in love, and I'm going to keep that really simple, just on the top, and there we go. That's our last card of our masterclass. But I love that one. It's just got that real difference with having that pop of colour on the inside, and our beautiful vellum card.
Really effective. I think that white embossing on the vellum is really nice. Mary says lovely. Jessica says, I love a bit of colour. I think it's really, really beautiful. So we're going to go back to the main, I want to say prize, because it's almost like a prize, because you're getting 2 things for free. You're going to be buying 4 of these, and you get 2 others for free. So you get the whole of this pack, all 6 of these 8x8 vellum pads, 156 pages, for just £41.57 or $51.04. This is such a great buy, and we've given you so many different ideas in the shows today about what you can do with the vellum. You know, I'm sure that you've all learned loads of things. Debbie's learned how to make invisible ink, so we might be seeing that on cards in the future. But you've got everything ready for us to do a demo of the show, haven't you? And
I have.
It's going to be a toughie.
Yep. Right, number 1. So that was our first one where we did our frame and our heat embossing. Number 2 was our beautiful flowers we made out of vellum. Number 3 was our embossing our vellum. Number 4 was making our flowers out of vellum again. And number 5 was our double sort of dip in there with having that image on the inside. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5.
That's a really difficult one, I have to say. It'd be very hard to make that decision. So get your votes in. We're going to show you some of the tri-blends. So Debbie will show it. We've been using these throughout the day. You've got 3 different packs here. So the special offer is £32 or $48 for all 3 of these. Now, if you do put more than one in your basket, you will get duplicates. But the actual pack is all of these, and you're going to get 50 bonus points. So if you're just at the cusp of a different, a different part of your Club Inspire, you might be able to find it. You just move up into the next level. And who doesn't want to be a super platinum member? Super platinum. So really good, and these are going to be able to work on your card, but also, we've seen that you're able to colour in vellum, as something that I can see lots of people were really surprised about. And these are colours that you're going to be able to use again and again. I mean, if you've never bought any tri-blends and you just want to start off, we have so many, it's quite difficult to make the decision about which ones are right, but these are going to work for you. You've got all sorts of different colours, and do remember, you've got 3 different shades of each of those colours in each of those pens. They work really well. I was really amazed by mine. They feel really lovely to work with. I don't let my kids anywhere near them. They stay away. The only time they can go in my craft room is if they're going to clear up, which is never. But yeah, £32 or $48 for those. Now, the vellum inserts have just been so popular. Everybody's been wanting these, unsurprisingly, because they are such a good deal. So you have a Christmas tail here, and the everyday greetings. These are the smaller ones. These are the 4x6 ones. You buy these, and you get these 2 for free. So these are the 5x7. You've got Yuletide memories, and you've also got good wishes in there as well. If I flick through, you can have a look and see what they look like. So there's a mixture of different ones using just black ink or black and gold, but you can ink these in any way you want to. You don't have to use them as inserts. You might just want to use them as a topper, and then use the remainder of the vellum for making some flowers. You can ink these, you can colour these these in. There's all sorts of things you can do with them, and they are just such a good price. These are £12.78 or $20.72. I'll just quickly flick through the small one as well so you can see what you're going to be getting in here as well. But nice little sentiments in here that you're going to be able to use again and again. And you've even got some of them, like this one here, you've got the little corner pieces here. You might want to use that. You might want to cut this out and use it as a topper, but then you can cut these out as well and use them for other things. So they're very, very versatile. And I think for that price, you know, it's got to be something that you take full advantage of on the show today, because it's all been about vellum, and that's because that's what you asked for. So again, we want you to let us know the type of thing you want us to find out more about. And I think this idea of doing something for vellum has been really great. And as Debbie said, it's really quite exciting and challenging to be looking at different things, different ways of using things, and sometimes trying things out that don't work. So we can say to you, actually, that doesn't work. The glue doesn't work, or you've got to use this glue or this ink. Really, really good, and lots of different techniques. Not only have we been looking at using the tri-blends, but we've been looking at using pencils as well. So lots of different options for you. The other thing to show you would be, I'll just grab these. These are the other dies that we've got here. These are the delicate laying panel dies. So you've got 4 different dies in here. So this one is the butterfly with these different elements here. You've got these really pretty butterflies that just sort of pop up, which look really effective, and something that initially you look at it and think, well, that's quite pretty, but I don't realise quite how intricate it can be. Then you've got not the entertaining vines, but the entwining vines. That's really beautiful, and that was used on one of the demos that Debbie did first thing this morning. Really pretty, and actually, if you could be using that white on white that we've just done, that would make a very sort of nice festive kind of card there as well. This one is your peacock feathers. Everyone loves a peacock. In fact, I used peacocks in my Christmas wreath last year. Not peacocks, a whole peacock, but peacock feathers. I didn't use a whole peacock on my wreath. That'd be a bit weird. It was a well-trained peacock. I always thought one day when I grew up, I'd have peacocks in my garden. We don't, we just have foxes. Just foxes. Yeah, I don't think peacocks are beautiful. And then this last one is the perfect peonies. Really beautiful. And this, again, would work fantastically. If you're going to be using this with the vellum, you could then sort of colour all these sort of bits and pieces here, all sorts of things you can do with that. So you can work that with your vellum and your paper, your paper craft as well. So £16.62 or $20.42. I'm just going to have a look. The demo of the show. Now, which one would you think was going to win?
My favourite, actually, I like the embossed one.
Yeah. I couldn't choose. I wouldn't know which one.
I love the first one as well. That's really pretty. And I love the last one.
And the ones in the middle.
Top, middle, and bottom.
Well, it's number 1. So well done. Well done.
Yeah,
it's really beautiful.
Pretty, that one.
And
Thank
so
you
many
so
people
much.
have said it's it's being so confused by vellum. Thanks for the masterclass. It's been so helpful. We have got one question. Question for Debbie. How do you get the sentiment off the Xyron sheet so easily? I've had a terrible time doing it.
I've got tips on that as well. So very quickly, run it through your Gemini. So do you know how you emboss a die? Put it through your Xyron, leave the carrier sheet on, turn it upside down so your die or whatever you're sticking, it's the plain piece of paper on the back. Put your rubber embossing mat on the top and run it through as if you were embossing a die, and then it just peels off perfectly. And what you'll also notice that I do is I peel away the backing paper, not the die, not the die cut, because it actually peels back better like that. So just peel that away. But yeah, I have really good techniques on that. And even if you're not putting it through the Gemini, rub it with your fingers to heat it, and then all the adhesive will go through onto the carrier sheet and only stick to what you want it to stick to.
Oh, fantastic. Just goes to show. Debbie said, Dana said, Debbie, can you use markers on vellum and not have it rub off? No, just as we saw earlier today, if you use the alcohol ones, they work really well.
They work
and
amazing.
You said even with the watercolour, as long as it dries, it's going to be fine.
Absolutely, yeah. And your alcohol, it'll dry instantly, really, because it's alcohol. It's the nature of it. So it's the perfect medium to colour onto your vellum.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, we're almost done. So we're going to be back for cartload later on. We've got loads of stuff. Well, hopefully we'll still have it all, but we had some sellouts. But yeah, join us a little bit later. Hopefully we're going to have cake. I'm hoping someone's going to go and get some cake. So have a little bit of a break. We'll see you in a couple of hours. That's 6 p.m. or 1 p.m. or 10 a.m. For cartload. So we'll see you a bit later. Bye.